Do you literally find yourself doing anything, absolutely anything, other than that one important thing that you know you need to be doing? You'll check your emails, you'll scroll social media for hours, you'll write shopping lists, you'll do stuff for everybody else. But you won't do that one really important thing that you know you need to do. And you know what the worst bit about that is? You know you're doing it. And this is what I call auto-crastination. And today we're going to look at why this happens and what you can do to break the cycle. Hello and welcome to Dichotomy. I'm Di Jones, a transformational leadership coach and ex-executive, and I work with high-performing and very successful women in their 30s and 40s who can lead really effectively in their workplaces but often fail to prioritise themselves in other areas of their life. Now, you may have noticed that I use the word auto-crastination to describe something that most people would just call procrastination. Yes, that is a made-up dichotomy word. I like to refer to it that way for this reason. Now, when we are at this stage of procrastination, it's not just trying to avoid all things and getting distracted. It's actually a deeper, ingrained version of ourselves that's avoiding something. And so we'll do anything other than that thing, and it's a pattern of behaviour within us. And it's something that happens automatically and affects every area of our life. Now, before we get into the detail, I would like to share a little story that one of my past clients shared with me recently. She is a travel agent and she's busy building her business, trying to do all of the things that business owners do, post videos, contact clients, do brochures, do marketing, do all the things. Now, she mentioned that one of the biggest things she's been struggling with lately is auto-crastination. She would find endless YouTube videos about AI platforms and tools for marketers to use, or she'd go for a walk around the lake under the guise of reaching out to potential clients, or she'd read yet another Build Your Business book, just in case she hadn't read enough if the first 100 didn't do the job. So she was finding herself doing everything other than that one important thing that really would make her business grow. Now, the impact of this was enormous for her. As the sole income earner in her family, she felt a huge responsibility to be able to make ends meet, to make sure the income was coming in and that hours she was spending building her business meant something not just to her, but to her family as well in terms of the quality of life that they all enjoyed. So it was a massive impact and it was really, really bringing her down. She was feeling anxious, she was feeling nervous, she was feeling not good enough, and all these emotions were just fueling the procrastination or the auto-crastination that she was experiencing. So I asked her, what is it that you're actually trying to achieve? Or, in other words, what's your 5 to 10 year big, hairy, audacious goal? The one that scares the absolute bejesus out of you. And she responded without missing a beat. I want to be an Amazon best-selling author and an international speaker. Her passion was so obvious, her vision was so clear, and everything was there ready for her to move towards that goal. So why then was she so paralysed when it came to getting the important things done? Let's have a look at this from 2 different perspectives. Now, perspective number 1, the psychology side. From a traditional perspective, auto-crastination is really about skills, laziness, or even poor time management. From the research, it suggests that auto-crastination is actually an emotional regulation problem. So when we face a task that elicits uncomfortable emotions, such as fear, anxiety, overwhelm, or just simply not feeling good enough, the brain goes into defense mode and says, hey, I've got this. We don't want this discomfort. And what's the easiest way to remove the discomfort when your brain is telling you that there's an emotional response that's not comfortable? Simple. Just avoid the task. The interesting thing about auto-crastination is the level of awareness we have about it. We're actually watching ourselves do it. So that creates an additional element of discomfort than standard procrastination would, in my view. So not only are we beating ourselves up about the fact that we didn't get the job done today, or yesterday, or the day before, but we're actually beating ourselves up because we know we're avoiding it. And there's no reason, logically, rationally, to avoid it. We know we can do it. We know it needs to be done. We planned it in most cases, but we're still avoiding it. And so we get the double level of discomfort from the fact that we didn't do it and we know we're not doing it. Really frustrating. So what are some of the common triggers that make us fall into autocrastination? Let's go through a few. Number 1, perfectionism. If I can't do it perfectly, I'm just not going to start. Number 2, having unclear outcomes. Well, I don't exactly know what good looks like, so how am I going to achieve what I need to achieve? I mean, surely it's just best to hold off for a little while, isn't it? Number 3, identity threat. This task actually challenges who I think I am, and I'm not going to have that. No, it's not happening. Number 4, decision fatigue. I'm just too mentally drained to deal with anything complex right now, so I'm just going to pick the little wins and call it success and a good day and be done with it. Number 5, fear of failure. If I fail, I'm absolutely certain my whole world will seriously implode right now, so no. Now we've had a look at autocrastination from a psychological point of view, let's have a look at it from perspective number 2, the inner wisdom side. Now, autocrastination isn't always about psychology or our uncomfortable emotions. Sometimes it's about our inner wisdom telling us that something isn't right for us. It's our natural compass to pull us in the right direction or away from things that aren't meant for us. But how do we work out which one of the two are causing our personal autocrastination? Is it our psychology and our fears? Or is it something within our inner wisdom that's protecting us from something that isn't meant for us? Well, here's some questions to help decide who or what might be driving that bus. Number 1, what would completing this task actually mean? Would you feel a sense of satisfaction? Would you feel a sense of frustration that you had to do something you didn't want to do? Or would you just see it as another brick in the wall where finishing that just means you have more work to do that doesn't add value to your day? Number 2, would completing this task change your identity? For instance, if I complete this business plan, does that then mean I have to start being an entrepreneur? Number 3, would completing this task then force you to take an action you're not ready for? For instance, if I apply for this job and win it, does that mean I then have to take it and leave the job that I actually already like? Number 4, if I completed this task, would something end? For instance, if I finish the work for this particular project, that means that chapter of my life is done. Then what do I do? And then number 5, if I finish this particular piece of work, would that expose me? For instance, if I finish this YouTube video today and I post it and put it out to the world, am I going to be harangued by dozens of keyboard warriors who just want to tear me down? In each of those questions, depending on your answers, your subconscious might simply be saying, hey, if we don't finish this, then we don't actually have to face what's coming next, and that's okay. There's another part of the picture I'd like to share with you, and that is that autocrastination is sometimes, I'll put the word sometimes, actually wisdom in disguise. It's telling you that what you're about to try and do, or pushing yourself to do because you need to or should or think you should or would or whatever reason, is actually not the right time, the right place, or the right thing for you to be doing right now. Sometimes it's a case of busily running up that ladder only to find that the ladder you're on is leant up against the wrong wall. But of course you're pushing forward because you've been told you should, or you think you should, or you're afraid of what would happen if you don't. So you keep doing it. The key to deciding which is at play for you is to ask, am I simply avoiding growth? Or am I avoiding something that's actually misaligned for me? Now, if autocrastination is a thing for you, here's what I'd like you to do. Grab a journal, grab a pen, sit down, and ask yourself these 4 questions. Number 1, what task am I currently autocrastinating on? Now, Write it down. Specify it. Be really detailed about what you're putting down here. Number 2, what emotions come up for you when you think about completing this task? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it resistance? Is it overwhelm? Name it specifically. Write it down and see it for yourself in black and white or blue or pink or whatever colour you choose. But make sure you define the emotion that you're feeling related to this particular activity. Number 3, if I was to complete this task, what would change? Is my identity going to shift? Are my relationships going to change? Is my view of myself going to be different? Will I win? Will I lose? What will happen if you complete this task? And number 4, is this resistance about an avoidance of growth? Or is this resistance about protecting me from something that's not right for me? In all of these, trust your gut. Go with what comes to mind first and try really hard not to overanalyze it. I have analysis paralysis. The truth of the matter will come to you straight away from your heart. You don't need to think about it too hard. You already know the answers to these questions. But writing them down helps to crystallize what's actually happening for you. So what can we actually do about auto-crastination? So if it's fear or discomfort based, which is more on the psychology side, there's 2 things I'd like you to consider doing. One is just naming the emotion as it comes up in you. By verbalizing it, putting it out there, you're able to recognize it for what it is and make some decisions about what you would like to do about it. The other thing you can do is to try the 10-minute rule, which is, okay, my task might take me a day, it might take me 4 hours, it might take me an hour, but if I commit to myself to do 10 minutes on that task, I get 2 benefits from that. One is I give 10 minutes of my time and see what comes up for me, so I'm learning and growing as I'm doing it, and if I get going, I might actually be able to keep continuing, which means I get more of the work done. If I only get 10 minutes done, I'll win as well, because at least I'm 10 minutes closer to the end than I was before I started. Now, if it's on the subconscious side, there's 2 things I'd like you to think about trying as well. Now, number 1 is have a conversation with your subconscious. Ask it, what are you trying to protect me from? Listen to what the answers are. You'd be really surprised at what comes up in that little voice in your head. Quite often, our subconscious will never lie to us. The second area I'd like you to consider is to check your alignment. Is this a task that actually aligns to what I want to do, what I'm trying to achieve, and where I want to go in life? If you're doing something that isn't true to you and your goals and your purpose and your vision, 1, why are you doing it? And 2, it's a really heavy barrow to push up a hill. So have a think about, is it aligned to you? Is it what your heart desires? Now, what happens if it's neither of those things? It's not a fear-based response or discomfort, and it's not an inner wisdom type of thing and a misalignment. So what happens if we know those 2 things aren't at play? Well, there's an age-old leadership one that comes up here, and that is check your prioritization. Are you working on the right things at the right time for the right reasons? Is your priority list outdated, or are you still working through it from A to B from 3 months ago? Have a think about that one if the other 2 don't apply to you. So in closing, here's what I'd like you to try this week. Pick 1 of the 4 reflection questions and pick 1 of the practices, and then see what comes up for you. No pressure, no change in the world, just a reflective exercise to see what's happening for you. If you found today's topic useful or discovered something about yourself that you'd like to share, please feel free to drop it in the comments section below so we can all read it, and I promise to read them all, of course. Now, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you all the best, and hope to see you on next week's episode of Dichotomy. Take care.